Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another PSHRadio Facebook Live show. We have two guests on, but they're the same people, kind of, because they're part of the same team. So, of course, as usual, if you want to get involved in the Facebook Live, feel free to share, like, comment, the usual stuff. You know how it goes by now, because we've done a pretty few of these. So first, before we'll obviously get the guests, and we'll get Colin.
Good evening, Sam.
Good evening. How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Right, but
It's all of a sudden it's got a little bit muggy here, so yeah, it's a bit of a funny evening. It's yeah.
Plus, we had a big storm, and we didn't really notice that it was a storm.
No, we didn't. No, it was rumbling around. We've had a fair bit of rain, but we haven't had as much rain as certain people in the UK have had, which is quite nice. But there's been some bad experiences around the UK with flooding, etc. So, and obviously in America, you've got that double hurricane that are supposed to be entering the Panhandle at the moment, which is kind of scary. So anybody out in that neck of the woods, just stay safe. And yeah.
Jimmy, man, you know what I'm like. I have to sort everything out.
I know you're putting it on social media. You're putting it on social media.
We may as well get Jonathan and Cece in now, aren't we? Because I can just see they just sat there like, are we joining this?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Good.
You?
Good. How's life in the lovely Las Vegas?
Not bad.
It's hot.
Yeah. This has to be expected with the COVID. So
yeah. Good weather.
Yeah, it's warm.
It's like hell.
It's been up for 14, so it's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot out. But no rain.
No, we seem to have got most of the rain in the UK for everybody at the moment. So it's not nice. It's not nice. Hi Chris, and yeah, we will be raising. There we go. I'll toast you with a glass of Coke, Chris, because I'm on the radio. Got to be professional, not drinking. Those days have long gone. But yes, welcome back. It's good to see you guys again. You're always busy doing the paranormal side of it, as well as doing obviously your day jobs as well. So what's been going on since we last spoke to you?
Well, we just been trying to do the paranormal, as best as we can. Everything's been shut down. There's, some places that are open. Obviously we have to do the social distancing thing. And we've been just getting a hold of a lot of potential places that are shut down that we can't get into, that, no one's around. So that's a plus side of it, in a sense, for us to investigate. For our second season, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got lucky on that part.
So you're all pushing ahead with season 2, and
pushing ahead with that. We had to cut season 1 obviously off short because of COVID, and everything was completely shut down. We couldn't get in anywhere, so it just made sense to move forward with season 2 instead of coming back 6 months later, to add on to season 1. So we had to cut that short. But we have some amazing locations for this one, so we're excited about this.
I wish you guys were here for it.
yeah, I know. We were. Yeah, obviously, I literally should be in Michigan as we speak. I should be having a drink in Sainte Ste Marie at Michigan Con as we speak, but sadly, due to what's going on in the world, that's got cancelled and move over to next year. So I'm missing America. I'm missing spending American dollars. I tell you what, I'm missing flying. That's the weirdest thing.
Oh, really?
I don't like the whole build up, like going to the airport and all that sort of stuff. But once I'm on the plane, I just love it. I just love the whole experience. But it's not going to happen for a little while. You guys have got to let the English back into the country soon before I can even contemplate. So I'm hoping to be out there in April. And that'll be my first of hopefully 4 trips to America next year.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Yes. And fingers crossed, if everything works out, there will be hopefully a little dabble down to Las Vegas, because it seems quite weird not to go to Vegas, because I've been going every year. So
you got
players
coming around here around the next month or so. So it's going to be a little lonely without you guys.
I know. If you have seen all my memories that pop up, obviously we were in Vegas and this blah blah blah. And it is my player's card is missing, going in the machines and getting handed over. So it's weird. But so season 2, your guns blazing, and obviously you're doing the best you can in the current situation. And I know what the answer to this question is going to be, but I'm going to try it. Can you give us any sneak exclusive to possible venues that you've got coming up?
Well, one place we just filmed this past week, actually, if you're an investigator or if you're an enthusiast about, the paranormal, everybody wants to get in here and nobody can get in.
You went with us last year.
We got in. So
you actually got into the place, I think it is.
Yes, we got in. It's going to be an amazing episode, so we're looking forward to that. Like I said, I just gave away a hint. Every investigator wants to get into this place, and nobody can, and we're fortunate enough to do so. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to be focusing a lot around here, obviously, considering the circumstances. So it's going to be more so Nevada, California, places like that, our area. We're also going to focus on what we usually do as well. We're going to bring in a little bit into this season, which is residential pieces, because people don't see that side. They usually want to see the big asylums and stuff like that. But we also, we're investigators. We do help people, so we want to show that side of it that we don't put in our episodes. So we want to start bringing that in too.
Yeah, we got a really good case coming up.
Yeah,
residential case.
So you've got a blend of venues that people recognize and know, and a blend of private residential cases helping people out. Oh, that's great. That's wicked. Yeah, we got see what the chat room's going absolutely mental. So I'm just going to shout out a few people. We've got Angela in the chat room. We've got Chris. We've got Travis. Ann Davis and all those people. Yeah, a big shout out. So if you've got any questions, guys that are listening, just pop it into the chat room, and we'll ask. If it's for Jonathan and CC, we'll ask them, or if it's for myself and Sam, get Sam talking a bit on this episode, because it's always nice, because she's always in mission control, pushing buttons, trying to keep out the background. And we got Andy as well. So yeah, any questions, just post it on there. What we'll also do is we'll post some links to season 1 that you completed. And if you watch the first episode, you might see 2 faces. You might pop up in a graveyard that you might recognise as well. And while we were melting in extremely hot heat. But yeah, so how are you actually, because obviously we're in this strange lockdown period, how are you actually finding these locations? And obviously it must be very different for filming for you guys. I know you guys live together, so the social distancing is kind of easier to handle, because you can be more than 2 meters, you can be less than 2 meters apart. Exactly, because you live here. But obviously, for filming wise and for interviews, you must be going through a different type of scenarios and formats that you would normally not have to worry about on non-COVID times.
Yeah, we have the social distancing thing with 6 feet apart, masks, stuff like that. As of these places, a lot of places are, already known. The residential cases, those are people who actually reach out to us. Now, we get those all year round, the residential, but we never showcase that, but we do document what we do. So this season, like I said, we're going to take a production approach to the residential cases, or some of them, and showcase it to, the people that follow us, that want us to, what some people out here, or actually a lot of people are going through, with the paranormal. So,
and obviously with a residential case, and it's a different type of investigating, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you obviously have to be more careful with what sort of questions you ask when you're talking spirit, and obviously because people are actually living there and being affected by what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's strange times right now, and honestly, with everything going on, there's so much negative energy, especially here in the U.S. right now.
It's already in the air.
Yeah, it's just creating, just an uproar and activity, especially around here in Vegas, in the city.
Yeah.
We've gotten a lot of people to contact us, so like I said, we want to focus a little bit on the residential, when we can. And, the bigger places, like what you've seen on television, we're reaching out to those. Some have actually reached out to us, which is, cool. Places are closed down, unfortunately. And a lot of these haunted places, some of them aren't really open anyways. So, it's just crazy, like when we got off of here, today we've got a lot of phone interviews that we have for some places we're getting into.
Yeah. You got some really cool locations. I can't wait till we get into them and put them up on YouTube. I'm excited.
Yeah. I know. I'm excited for you, and I'm over this side of the pond. So, just to let everybody know, if you're watching this, you might see just above CC's head, you'll see a divot box on there. Next to where Jonathan's pointing is a bit of paranormal equipment, because we had a bit of fun and games last time we did an interview with these guys where things were happening. So Jonathan's put and then go straight off.
Wow. Just as you were saying that.
The thing lit up right there.
Okay. Well, basically, because we had some interesting stuff going on when we last interviewed them. Jonathan's put this device there, which is it's an EMF meter, which kind of lights up like if you've got any knowledge of equipment like a K2, so it has the different colours of lights going up. So the different colours and the brightness is obviously the strong. And Jonathan was saying to us just before we came on air that for it to light up, there has to be a very, very strong EMF spike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to just run through, just for the listeners, what that bit of equipment? Because I'm amazed that lit up. Then.
Yeah, I do actually. It's kind of funny. You said Dybbuk box and it lit up. I know there's a little bit of delay.
Kind of like
that was wild. And you can touch it and it doesn't light up. It takes, like he said, it takes a lot of energy for this light here, which is a paranormal lantern. It's like a K2 meter. If anyone knows what that is, it picks up electromagnetic energy that spirits are said to throw off. Well, those are a little bit sensitive. This light here, it takes a good bit and amount of energy for it to go off. And I can take it to our fuse box, and I have to be right up on the fuse box and move it around for it to go off, which is odd. That's a lot of energy. So for that to go off, like I said, that's wild, and it's right beside the Dybbuk box, as you was mentioning that. So it has layers of lights on it. It's really bright, extremely bright, and that helps us, investigating to actually see it in the dark. Like the K2 meter, it's a good tool, but you have those little bitty lights, and if you're not looking, you'll miss any kind of interaction you have with that.
Yeah.
So that's a cool piece of equipment.
Yeah, and obviously it's like, because I was amazed. I'm talking about it to you guys and telling all the listeners, watch out for it if you see anything light up. And on command, it obviously likes the British accent.
Yeah.
So if anybody that's listening or watching this, if you do see, because behind CC is some very interesting items, but it's next to a divot box. So if anybody sees anything, there's a couple of like crime boy painting and other things like that in there, and it's a very we had some fun and games when we came and visited and had some food with you there. So anybody that's watching this, just shout out if you see anything. And I'm still taken aback that actually lit up, literally like on command.
Yeah, so you had experience here too when you came to visit. It was kind of a, both myself and Sam was there with us, and we were having dinner, and it was just not a. I felt not uncomfortable is the wrong word, but I felt on edge. Yeah.
Because of some of the items, and it felt like certain eyes were following you around the room and things like that. But,
it lit up again. It lit up again. I can't wait to go over this again.
Hang on a second. I'm going to try something. I know this is not very good radio, but if you if it's a voice, if you recognise this voice and it's me that you recognise, would you mind lighting up again just to acknowledge that you recognise this voice and you know who it's speaking to? Won't do it now, but worth a shot. But yeah, so anybody that's watching this, and just give us a shout out if there's anything. As also we said, there's a load of people in the chat room. Please get involved. Any questions, any views, want to ask us about locations, equipment, because I know myself and Jonathan, we love our equipment. So and Jonathan has got some items that he's going to show us in a sec. But yeah, just get involved, put it into the chat room. We'll get round to, Sam will pop it up and we'll ask the question. I just want to, obviously you live in Vegas, and the amount of on your doorstep. A lot of people obviously just think Las Vegas, they think of the big, more famous places to go to. Like they see on TV and all this sort of stuff. But you guys have found some like sort of hidden gems. A couple of them were in your series 1. How, obviously living there, obviously you get to know and people contact you, etc. But are you constantly looking for possible locations to look at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're constantly, looking to see what's going on around us, paranormal wise. Sometimes it's good, in my opinion, to get into a place that no other investigator has been into, because you don't have, their stories to go off of. You can actually investigate and see what's there without having that, other voice in your head from someone else saying, okay, well, this demon is here. Right. We want to actually see for ourselves. It's good to do it that way. So yeah, we keep an eye out on what's going on around here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of places out here, a lot of hidden gems out here that a lot of people don't know about. And some of those hidden gems are actually residential cases as well. Unfortunately, Las Vegas has a lot of dark history that a lot of people don't know about. And some people come to Las Vegas and they're excited and they're happy. They make their move here, kind of like what we did. And then, bam, your place is haunted. So yeah, we're trying to delve into a lot of little places out here and trying to reach out to people. See what we find.
Obviously the history of Las Vegas from day one has been sort of shrouded with murder, deaths, various different
things going on. And it's sort of progressed, and obviously, as they call it, Sin City and all that sort of, and all the generic terms, but people do lose their shirt in more ways than one when they go there, and there is a lot of underbelly of the city, which has a very, very dark, horrible sort of existence that carries on. And I honestly thought, because people obviously, before my first ever trip, I was watching. You sort of watch the programs and do a little bit of research, and I thought the people living in the storm drains underneath the city, I thought that was just made up for like CSI TV program. But no, there are civilizations of people living in storm drains, and it's kind of freaking. It does. Everybody thinks it's just bright lights and fun, but when you go past those dark lights, there is a lot of history with like the mob and a certain underbelly of crime and stuff, of murders, of fires, arsons, and all horrible events. That is obviously, if you've got that sort of going on, it's going to have a residual into the surrounding area and the surrounding buildings, etc. And that's obviously what you guys are going to be looking into more.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And this is, the suicide capital here in Las Vegas. We have the highest suicide rate. And as you can imagine, that creates a lot of energy, negative energy, in a sense. And I personally believe when things like that happen, that attracts negative energy, demonic entities and things of that nature. You're in a bad position, you're having a rough time, you kill yourself, that energy is being brought out.
Yeah.
So, and it attracts bad things.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you on that front, but it feeds the negative side of it when you've got that sort of stuff going on. What we're going to be doing, I think what we're going to do now quickly, Sam, what we're going to play? We're going to play, this is a clip. I'll tell you what, Jonathan, do you want to explain what this clip is?
Which
this
one?
Is the first one, the
clown one.
Clown Motel.
Okay, the Clown Motel. Yes, this was our first episode that we did, which Carl and Sam were a part of. This place has a lot of energy there. There's a cemetery right beside of it. It's 1901. What we captured was the life-size clown in the office. Both of his hands moved. And I'll talk more about that once you show it.
Okay. Well, we're just going to play that clip, and anybody that's watching, if you've got any comments, questions, just post them in the chat room. We will post a link to this so you can see it another time, but we're just going to play it now.
You know what? I don't have a connection. I don't have a... His hand just moved. Really? It's down. It just moved. I just watched. Whoa. What happened there? Both hands fell. Both. Thank you. Both hands just moved. You know what? I don't have a connection. I don't have a... His hand just moved. Really? It's down. It just moved. I just watched. Whoa. What happened there? Both hands fell. Both. Thank you. Both hands just moved. You know what? I don't have a connection. I don't have a... His hand just moved. Really? It's down. It just moved. I just watched. Whoa. What happened there? Both hands fell. Both. Thank you. Both hands just moved.
I'll never forget it.
I thought I'd play it now. I thought I'd play it a few times just in case people miss it.
So I thought you just dropped off or something. I thought you just got to sleep or something. But no, go on, Jonathan.
All right. So as you noticed, we captured both of its hands moved. Now this clown is said to be haunted, and his hands move, which has been captured before. And we actually captured that our first time there while there were people all inside. We were talking about the clown, and it was a very rare occasion that they would actually, see this, and it happened as we're talking about it. So we went back, we filmed our episode, we called it Twice. Now, as you can imagine, it's a little controversial. People are going to say vibration, gravity, etc. Is there a possibility?
Yeah.
There's always that possibility. But what we do is we investigate. Now, we had been in there for over an hour and trying to get him, her, whatever it is, to move his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And never budged. Not once, never budged. I even kicked the back of the chair, the hands, nothing on him budged. We had walked around him. We had hit the side of the chairs. The hands
Mm-hmm.
never moved. Now, as we were shutting down, I said, cut cameras. What I didn't tell them is I left 2 cameras rolling just in case, because as you know, as an investigator, sometimes things happen as you're leaving. So I left 2 rolling. I put one down in front of him, and we captured his hands moving.
I would not take my eyes off of the clown's hands the whole time that they were moving.
That clown's creepy, isn't it? Because I remember when we went in, I'm like, no.
The thing is, everybody will obviously, like Jonathan said, is it's going to be like it's vibration, etc. But you're farther enough from the highway. You're not close to the highway.
No,
and I've picked up though what I've touched that clown and picked up. They're very, very heavy, and they do rest where they are supposed to be.
Yes.
And that's something obviously sort of a background to it. So yes, people could say it's vibration. I'm not a particularly small lad, and I've walked around and I've banged on the floor like when I was there, just to see whether anything moves, and the clown didn't move at all.
Exactly.
So if I can walk around it, I think it's an amazing seeing it once, which you've captured before, but capturing both move. And as Andy Marshall says, if you watch in high speed, as the left hand seems like it's moving slower than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good point. Thank you for the comment. We've also got if you put who you are, because sometimes you have to say who you are on that, but so I don't know who this Facebook user says. Beside the general bad vibes from the tales of the clown hotel and the look of the clown itself, was there anything spooky feeling in the air?
You can feel the energy. You can definitely feel the energy around the clown. You definitely can, as well in the cemetery. You can, when he starts to pick up his energy, you can feel it. It's like a static charge. It's freaky.
Yeah, as you guys know, that entire town, and I've said this numerous times now, that is the most haunted town we have ever been to, and we've been.
Oh, it lit up.
It lit up again. Just as I said that. And we've been to, some of the other most haunted, like Goldfield. We've investigated there numerous times. And Tonopah is, in my opinion, most haunted place. Like, you could literally go across the road to the car wash. It's haunted. That's how haunted it is there.
And it's not a big town. It's not a big town.
No.
It's not. You can just go straight through it.
Yeah.
There's a history there.
I must admit, when you kindly did us a little bit of a road trip, and we pulled up, and you got out of the vehicle, and you could just feel. Okay, obviously it was the heat as well, but when you were walking around like the reception area with the big clown and all the clown and all the bits and bobs, but the area which I was blown away was where you've got the steps going down into the graveyard. As soon as you get to that top of that first step, you can just feel the energy change as you get further and further down into the graveyard, down those steps.
Yeah. The cemetery is totally different from the Clown Motel.
Yeah.
Now, the reason being is just the energy is different. We've never had anything negative happen in the Clown Motel itself. Now, in the cemetery, you get a bad energy toward the back. Mm-hmm. And in our episode, it keeps telling us, don't go to the back. When one of our last times going there last month, she actually, her first time, got scratched out there in the cemetery on her back.
And I've been out there a lot.
You know, people tend to do ritualistic type things and stuff like that in cemeteries, unfortunately. So it happens a lot. It happens everywhere. I feel that negative energy that is toward the back has come from that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You just feel the energy as you walk through it. Yeah. We when we were with you guys, I think we only got like not even halfway into it where we were doing the bit of filming, and obviously the experience that we spoke about last time, what I saw when we were taking the mics off as we were just breaking down when I saw the guy in the cowboy hat. And the thing about it is, there's nowhere that if it was a real person in a cowboy hat, what I saw, there's nowhere he could have gone without me seeing it, because it's completely open. You can see it unless he goes underground, because it's in the middle of desert. So, and you can see for miles. So you could see if he ran and jumped over the fence or whatever, you'd be seeing him running off. And even if you laid down, you'd be able to see it because it's completely flat.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's an amazing place, but the Clown Motel just has a different, as you say, it has a different type of vibe. I wish when we'd have gone, I would have some of the hotel rooms, because talking to you guys, you say some of the hotel rooms have a different type of vibe in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, each room has a different feel. Definitely a different feel. 108 definitely has a different feel to it. One of the other rooms we stood in as well, I think it was one of the upstairs room above 108, when we heard the footsteps, somebody walking on the roof. There was nobody up there at all on the roof, but we could clearly hear someone walking on the roof. That room had a little funky vibe. Not bad, but you could feel a little dread in the air in that room.
Okay. Yeah. And just quick shout out. We got MJ just popped in to say hi to us all. So she's just popped in. Hi, MJ. We do have a question from Chris D. What's your favourite paranormal equipment to use, Celia and Ramos, using your full name? What's your most intense moment during a Clan Motel investigation and using your full name, Johnathan?
Okay, so my favorite pieces of equipment, actually there's two of them, is the Spirit Box and the SLS camera. I love the SLS camera. I'm a little dorky when it comes to aiming in certain directions, but when I catch something, I'm like excited about it because I feel like I've accomplished. Ooh, I found something, you know.
What does it do?
It maps you out as a stick figure, and it will also map out any entity that appears as a stick figure as well. So it's pretty good. It's a sensory camera, and I love playing with that one. I love using that one and the Spirit Box because of communication.
My favorite piece is definitely the Spirit Box. I mean, you actually get to communicate and speak to these spirits or entities. You know, you hear their voices. They're actually talking back to you. Now, this piece here, it's something that takes a lot of time to actually understand and know how to use. This is a controversial piece as well from people who've never used it or just don't understand it. They'll just try to disprove it. Mm-hmm. But it's an amazing piece, and especially being out in the middle of the desert there in Tonopah, you get no radio chatter whatsoever. So when actually coming through, you know, you can hear it scan through the voice. That's a spirit voice. So that's my favorite piece.
I like watching you use dowsing rods too. He's good with the dowsing rods. I trip over everything. I can't play with dowsing rods. But
the most intense moment for me personally at the Clown Motel was actually with the Spirit Box. You have an external speaker you hook up to this. Now, in the episode, you see me holding it, and it just bursts very loudly into white noise. Now, when this happened, you know, before this happened, it was telling us to leave, to get out, don't go toward the back. And that happened. I felt the energy go through my arm. You can see my reaction to that. And my reactions, I usually don't never have reaction to that, but I felt it, and it really scared me. So that was my most intense moment in there.
I was actually trying to warn him too as well, because of the energy that I was feeling. I felt like we were being surrounded. I could hear the voices. I could feel them surrounding me. And I think I opened myself up a little bit too much that night because I could feel so much energy around us. I felt good things and I felt mischievous things surrounding us. That's when he got that static charge through his arm from the box.
Anybody that hasn't seen the episode, whereabouts in the Clown Motel was this happening?
The cemetery.
Yeah, the cemetery. Yeah. Whenever I had my thing that went off again, incident with the spirit box was in the cemetery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of that energy was there in the cemetery.
Yeah,
lot of it was.
It's totally
crazy
different
that night.
Than the Clown
Motel.
Oh, absolutely. And what, as Jonathan says, because the Sp7 Spirit Box or any type of Spirit Box is quite a controversial bit of equipment, because people say, oh, it's just radio, and you're hearing it. But I've been there. There's no phone signal. 2 hours out of Las Vegas, and you get no phone signal. For me personally, and there was nothing. There's no radio. You're in a dead zone. It's only when you're lucky enough to go into the Clown Motel and they've got the Wi-Fi that you can pick it up on. Sam's phone was exactly the same, and it is quite a dead zone. So you're not picking up on radio bleed, as they call it. You're just getting static, and we investigated it, and you see it in the episode, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we got intelligence responses back from the questions we asked, like how many people are standing here, and we got 4. We got that 4 coming back, and there was 4 of us standing there, and all the responses were intelligent to our questions that we asked. So that place is just, I think it is, as you say. But I think like you said, the whole town is very, very active. And, some of the places, and I can't wait to get back there, because it is just. I'd like to. Obviously, we were doing a daytime bit to just do the filming, but I want to see what it's like at night, because I think that Clown Motel and Graveyard would take on for me personally, would take on a different type of energy for me. Seeing it on the TV, seeing your episode and how you put it together, and but I want to experience it, what it's like when I do an investigation at night, and seeing what it's like. So anybody that's not seen it, it's a great episode. The whole series that you guys put together in season 1 is amazing. We've got another clip. Sam, which clip's this one we're going to be putting on?
This is the one, because obviously season 1 went viral. So basically, it's just short clips of each episode, basically.
Yeah, we showed that this is basically season 1, little clips of the amazing locations, and I'll put a competition. If people can name the locations from this clip and put it into the chat room, I will put up a prize. I've got a couple of baseball cap. Anybody gets the right of as many of the ones get it right, I'll give out the baseball cap. So you just got to work out from this little clip the locations, and no Googling it, people.
The thing is, it shows some on the episode.
Oh, does it?
Shows some on the video.
Looks like I tell you what, I'll put my own answer in and win my own baseball cap.
Right.
Every week I'm listening something. Somebody is telling something weird story. They are seeing orbs. They are seeing people talking inside.
I have to stop. I'm sorry.
There's people around us. Did you sleep well last night?
I slept great after I prayed. I don't know about everybody else, but everywhere I've been in this town has spirits.
There's something right between where the mop hallway is and those stairs.
There's heaviness down here.
I
I definitely feel like things have happened that there's no other explanation for.
Just all of a sudden, the cash register and everything that was on the table just fly off the table.
Is there anyone here? Us. What?
Just felt like I had something in my throat.
I really had an urge to leave. I didn't want to be in the basement. I didn't like the basement, and I did not go there alone.
Huh? What the hell? Did you hear that?
And she pointed to one of the doors and then took off running and then disappeared through the wall.
That is where you often hear the ball bounce.
You're dizzy. You need medical assistance?
Now I look a complete Wally doing that competition because it said every single location in the clip. I should have really looked at it. I know it was just clips of the show. So yes, thank you, and we'll think of another competition at some point. Yes, Andy, it was Nevada, USA. You're still not winning the baseball cap for that. I can't believe I went from that. So Andy did say a question. He said, I find the dictaphone is the best for him, as he's got some great EVPs in the past, but the Sp7 is a great tool as well. Yeah, obviously doing EVPs with a digital recorder. I think that's another key element to any investigator's arsenal because of what it does, because you are getting, similar to the Sp7, you're getting direct responses. But the Sp7, you can actually have an interactive conversation as you go, because you're getting responses straight back. So you said you were going to show us a couple of bits of other equipment that you have lying around, Jonathan.
Yeah, so I'll let Celia show you this one here, which is
millimeter. Don't put up my nose. All right. Oh, here we go. I gotta figure this out. Oh, so we got the millimeter going. It's a millimeter. It detects electromagnetic energy, also temperature. So if energy was to come up across, this would light up. Can you see the lights on here? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to get it where the glare is.
So this is also another piece that's hard to get to go off here. We've been using it for years, and there's only a couple of times we've had that go off.
Yeah.
Obviously, my favorite piece here, which is the Sp7 Spirit Box. Love this piece. Very great piece to have, which is your night vision camera. It's a little bit on the expensive side. The kind we use, it is 4K. It costs over $1,000 for this piece, but it has great night vision on it, great sound. It picks up anomalies wonderfully, better than the other ones. So this is a AX53 Sony Handycam. I love this piece. We also have a lot of other different equipment. I just got a couple pieces out here. The thermal camera here, this is a good piece. You can really see it.
Is that the FLIR one on a tablet?
Yes, the FLIR Pro or something like that. I can't remember, but it's an expensive piece too. But this is a good piece to have. Unfortunately, the FLIRs only last about 30 minutes before you have to recharge, and they're like $400. So you kind of got to hope to get something within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I love that piece. Then also we have the Paranormal Lantern up here, which is the EMF. Basically, it's an EMF meter. You've seen it go off a couple times, which is very odd. Sitting up there beside the Dybbuk box. It's a good communication piece as well. She loves the SLS.
I do. I love the SLS and I love the Spirit Box. Those are my two favorite tools. And sometimes the millimeter, if we can get it to go off, it doesn't really go off. I mean, we've probably had it go off maybe a couple of times. That's kind of hard to get to light up and sound at the same time. So I've yet to try that
That's
another
just
time.
some of the equipment we use. We have a ton of cases of equipment. It's a hassle each time to move that around, but those are some of our good pieces here that I wanted to show you guys. I love to use.
I know that feeling, Jonathan, of having cases upon cases, because I'm exactly the same as you. I'm doing it in the studio, and I can literally reach over there and I can probably grab a bit of equipment because I have equipment lying all over the place.
I guess you know what this controversial piece is, then, huh?
The Ghost Ark.
Yeah, the Ghost Ark. Yeah, this was going to be such a great piece. Some people got them and they didn't work well. This one used to work and it stopped working, but it had digital recorder, spirit box, EMF meter. It had all that in it. So
I must admit, I've got one, and I played around with it, and there's a couple of the elements I'm not 100% liking on it, but the EMF reader, because you get the 4 different readings of it. You get EMF, you get humidity, you get all those different types, which I think is a very good tool because it's like a multifunctional tool.
Yeah.
I've never really tried the spirit box on it because obviously I just prefer to grab the Sp7 or any other type of spirit box. But yeah, I must admit it got some bad press, but I think it was sort of kind of rushed to marketplace. Massimo, the guy that did it, was a bit of a character, and they are very, very rare bits of equipment. Most people have got them, either love them. It's a bit like, as in the UK we say, it's a bit like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it, and I think that's exactly the same as the Ghost Box. You either love it or you hate it. But yeah, equipment I think has its place, which I know that's very difficult to hear because that's basically what I do. But you've got benefit of both ways because you've got one of the best bits of equipment, and that's Cece. What she can pick up. But you've got that element as well because you've got that side of your skills as well, haven't you?
I can pick up on energy once I open myself to energy. I learned how to close myself off of other people's energy because it becomes very draining, exhausting. I call them energy vampires. I can tell right off the back if someone seems negative, so I just steer clear away from them. Same thing with properties. If I touch objects, I can feel the energy off of the objects. I can tell you if it's something malignant, if it's mischievous, if it's a good spirit. It's just something I've grown to embrace over the years. At first, I thought it was like a curse for me because I didn't like the way I was feeling. I thought I was going crazy. I can feel it. I can feel anything. If I'm open to opening myself up, I will feel all sorts of energy.
Yeah, and you do have a tendency of, like you say, of opening yourself up a little bit too much, and you getting physically scratched because you seem to. That's something that happens on investigations. That suddenly the energy will interact with you in that way, and that's how it shows itself to you, and you physically get scratched.
Yeah, I've had some that were pretty bad scratches. And I think the worst ones are probably the ones that are from malignant energy. Not all scratches are bad. I mean, it just could be entities trying to reach out to you saying, hey, I'm here. I'm trying to communicate with you.
Energy clash is what I call it.
Yeah.
Not all. I don't believe all are bad, but there are a lot that is.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had bad scratches.
Shout out to Mr. Sutton that's out there, and nice to see that. We'll get very sick about to throw up. It's me, Anne from Vegas. That's our friend that used to work at a certain museum, and who's now I don't think she's in Vegas at the moment. I think she's still on holiday somewhere in another far off flung place of one of the states, isn't she? Sam?
No, I think she's back now.
Oh, is she back in Vegas?
I'm sure she'll correct me in a minute.
I know she's been away for a little while visiting some amazing looking places and staying in some really incredibly looking amazing places that she stayed. That one place that she stayed at looked amazing. So hi to that. Hi to Chris Sutton as well, and thank you for your thing, because he's saying the mixture between science, equipment, and the mystical side is a good combination, and I think that's why I think you two on screen come across so, because you do have both of that sides to it, but also you don't rely on one side, you sort of blend the two together in a good way on screen. We've got Andy saying I had hand marks around my neck. I know Carl's had experience at Fort Halstead, yes, and Fort Halstead has a little place in my heart, and I kind of feel like I need to get back to it, but then I kind of don't want to go back. It's been a good 6 months since I've been back, but I know that whatever's there that likes me will welcome me with open arms when I do go back there. But yeah, great. Sam, have we got anything else that we've got to play, or have we covered all that?
We covered all that.
Perfect. So yeah, quick shout out to everybody in the chat room. Like I say, if you've got any questions, we've got about 5-10 minutes to go of the show, so get your questions in there. If there's anything you want to ask Jonathan and CC, put it in there. We'll ask away like we've been doing. Thanks for all the interaction in the chat room. It's been amazing. The chat room, I'm just losing track of the messages rolling up because they're going so quickly. So if I have missed your question, do post it in the chat room again. If we miss it again, we will ask CC and Jonathan off air, and we'll post a response on our social media links. So what, apart from obviously the plans of season 2 that are in full effect, what else have you guys been up to?
Well, just living, work, gaining weight,
work, and I've been making pendants.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to come up, because we were going to say you make pendants and you got your crystals and things like that you jewelry, which we'll post a link, and they're amazing quality. So
thank you. Made with love. Anybody's interested, just DM us. We got little notes.
Yeah, all the funds that we make, the profit that we make off of these go toward our episodes. Like we've said before, it can cost us over $1,000 out of pocket just to travel to one place, hotel, car, all this other extra added stuff. And sometimes to get into a place, you've got to pay hundreds, if not, sometimes $1,000 to get into a well-funded place. So we've been selling some of these things to go toward that. And, like you just seen, Celia.
T-shirts.
Yeah, we have T-shirts too.
Where am I going with this? Jeez, I don't know left or right.
Well, but when you getting hats, because obviously you know somebody that likes a good hat.
Yeah.
We've been doing that a lot, so I think we're going to have to do that.
We're going to do hats for sure.
Yeah.
Well, keep me informed, and I'll be definitely purchasing one of those. We just got a couple of questions. The first one was, I didn't see the user, but it was, if I remember rightly, because it's disappeared off my screen. What is one place that you've investigated more than once that you now think is not haunted anymore? I know that's a strange. I know that's going to be a tough question. Or the activities changed, or whatever.
There's actually a big place that we just investigated that's supposed to be extremely haunted, and it is haunted, but we feel, and we've been in there multiple times, and we feel the energy has died down a little bit. But right now, I don't really want to say which place that is. You can kind of get a hint, but the activity seems to have died down a little bit. It's not not as poltergeisty, things moving. A lot of interaction with voices more so, but the energy is wild. But we feel that it's died down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Now we got a similar location in the UK, which is people might know, listening will have heard of it. It's called the Ancient Ram Inn, and the guy that used to own it, Old Man Humphreys, he sadly passed away a couple of years ago, and I've investigated it when he was alive to since he passed away, and I think the energy sort of shifted, so it can be a location that can be affected by a person rather than the actual location itself.
Right.
Exactly.
We've got another one. Anne Davis would like to know, what's the worst scratches you've ever had, Cece?
What was that? I'm sorry.
What is the worst? What is the worst scratches you've ever had, and where?
I think the worst here in Las Vegas was in bed here, waking up in the middle of the night. I was having weird dreams, and I had woken him up, and I told him that my back was burning, and the scratches were really, really bad. Like it was this weird line down and then 2 lines across it. Looked like almost like a tic-tac-toe, but it was just 3 scratches, and it was deep.
She's had some wild ones.
Yeah.
We did a live here with our things one time. She had literally an X on top of her shoulders, which in my opinion, all the scratches she's had was the most craziest one. And it went all the way down her back, all the way to the bottom, and it was X on her spine. So that's pretty wild. And we feel it's from these items here. Now, there's something that I want to make clear about why we have these items. We don't have these items to be cool. They do look nice displayed, but we have them because we're actual true paranormal investigators. Now, we want to study these items that are said to be haunted. Not all of them are.
Right.
But we do have several, quite a few that are. We want to study them. We want to know why, how things are attached to them, what's attached to them. Just like the Crying Boy painting. Is there a curse to it? I don't believe so. We've had the paintings for over a year, and we've not had a fire, knock on wood. But that was something in the UK that people were experiencing and stuff. The Dybbuk box, the one we have is extremely haunted. We've had such crazy things about it. But yeah, we want to study these things. We want to understand them. That's why we have it. We are true paranormal investigators. So I wanted to make that.
I think that's really good thing that you just pointed out, because there's a lot of thing going on around the paranormal industry that people have them just to look cool, as they say. I'm trying to be politically correct and polite when I say it, because I think sometimes people will buy things and sort of expand the legend of a certain item just for effect. And I know you guys personally, and I know the objects that you have, they all have a history. They all come with what's going on with the kind of, and you want to experience them. Yes, they're behind you, but then again, you've got to store them somewhere. And I know certain other people I know who have objects. So yeah, I think that is a good thing that you pointed out there, that they're not just for effect. You are looking to research it and explore, because I think this is an industry where you constantly have to learn. You can't just say, right, that's it, I know everything, because it moves on. This industry moves on, and you've got to be constantly learning, constantly researching, constantly reading, and keeping your skills fresh and keeping up to date with what's going on. Because if you don't, and you suddenly think you are now an expert, you might as well hang up your hat, put away your silver case, and put away your black hoodie, and just walk away from the field, because there's no experts in this field. There's people with a lot of knowledge, but there's no experts.
Exactly. I agree. Never will be. Exactly.
And we cleanse, we know how to keep these items at bay. And if, sometimes we'll slack, we'll go somewhere for a couple of days, and then, come back and we're bombarded by, some of the energy here. But you've got to know how to cleanse if you do have these. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
All right.
That hour has flown by, guys. Just before we go, I'm going to test out that little lantern again, just to see if it still likes the English accent. The bit of device next to the wooden box on top of the shelf, the divot box. This is Carl. If you remember, I came and sat just in front of you. If you can hear my voice, would you mind lighting up and telling us that we're there?
You can do it. You can do it. We're acknowledging you.
No, but your candle on the other side. Your candle on the other side went dim and went dark again.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Worth a try. Trying this transatlantic. See if that works. I've seen it on TV, so we might as well try it because it didn't work last time. Guys, you know this is it's always a pleasure. It's never a chore to have you guys on. It's more like friends just chatting. It's never a chore of doing an interview, and we'll get you on again. You are and people like you coming on. The responses that we have from our listeners and in the chat room and from the downloads, etc. It's amazing. And thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules to talk to us today.
Thank you. We enjoy this very much, and we get to see you, which is good.
Exactly. We're doing more of these, and I now have to make sure I'm shaved and look presentable instead of when I was doing the radio where nobody could see me, where I could sit there in a t-shirt and unshaven for 4 days and look like something out of whatever. But yeah, thanks guys, and thank you everybody in the chat room. Thanks for everybody that's been interactive. It is much appreciated. We will be back. We're back on tomorrow night again, and we'll be talking to somebody who's a very interesting character, a guy called Michael from America. He's an angel medium, which we're going to be discussing and finding out a little bit more. So we'll be back on at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And we're on again on Sunday. You guys are never going to see us off this radio. So thank you very much. I'm going to pass you back over to Sam. Thank you, guys. And lastly, just before take over, anything you want to say, CC and Jonathan?
Oh, thank you guys for watching, tuning in, all the support that we've gotten, these past few months. I mean, when we say we went viral, we literally went viral on social media with our first season. We appreciate all you guys who have supported us.
Yes, thank you.
So you can find us on YouTube if you are new to us. So thank you.
We love you all. We love you, Carl and Sam.
Love you too, guys. Love you too.
All right.
Thanks, guys. And Sam, back over to you to close off the show.
So I just want to finish off as reiterating what Carl said. Thank you everybody for watching this evening. It's Wednesday, yeah, you've got to get used to sometimes of us doing shows on different days. Thank you, guys. Good night. Say good night, everybody.
Good night. It's like the Waltons.